Delighted to welcome you all to Juniper Hall this morning for the announcement of the winners of the 2016 Moran Art Prizes.
The prizes were established in 1988 to celebrate Australia's bicentennial. The Moran family thought it a very special thing to give something back to the arts, and this was what we decided. We had over 1,000 portrait entries, which was extremely good and hard work for the judges, no doubt. And we also had over 400,000 photograph entries. Those photograph entries also included entries from each of the children's school workshops that we did during the year.
This year, the student section of the Moran Contemporary Photographic Prize was judged by Nicole Jackson, Louise Whelan, Jim Filmer and Sally Mayman. And it's now my pleasure to welcome photographer Sally Mayman to the stage to announce the winners. And Sally is part of the team of photographers who work with the Moran Arts Foundation on their extensive school workshop program.
On behalf of all the student judges, it is a great privilege to judge the student section of the Moran School Photographic Competition again this year. We were all impressed by the quality of the images, displaying a creativity and competency well beyond the students' years. This year we ran over 100 workshops across primary schools and high schools, with many of these being in regional and remote communities. Here students have minimal access to digital technology and really embrace the opportunity to express themselves visually. The winner of the years 7 and 8 is Tess Poyner with her image Ash with Stick. Is Tess here today? The year 9 to 10 section was won by Lachlan Starling for his image Forces. And finally, in year 11 to 12 division, was won by Christine Drew with Smoko Break.
The judges of the 2016 Moran Contemporary Photographic Prize are John Jones, former Director of Photography at the Sunday Times magazine, and photographic historian and emeritus curator of photographs at the State Library of New South Wales, Alan Davies. And would you please now welcome John to the stage?
So I'm delighted to announce the winner of the Moran Photographic Prize for 2016 is Johannes Reinhardt.
Thank you. It's a bit overwhelming. Wow, I just heard how many entries we had this year, and I go out on the streets and I try to take images like this one, but they only come, if I'm lucky, once a year, maybe more 1 in 5 years. But it's great to get recognition and validation for what you love doing. It's really quite amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Now, to announce the winner of the 2016 Doug Moran National Portrait Prize, would you please give a welcome to the judges, artist Anne Wallace and art historian and gallery director Doug Hall, and of course, as Peter mentioned earlier, Greta Moran.
Clearly the prize has become established as an important part of the Australian landscape for the visual arts. It has grown. It has become hugely respected when we look at the profile and reach of artists who have exhibited and who enter. We announce Megan Serez Scarlet for her work Scarlet and Colonial Girl as the winner.
what the Moran Foundation does is it brings absolute joy to so many artists, including all the artists represented here. And to be able to, for an artist myself, to be able to walk into a space where there are so many quiet works that ask you to, be still and really look at the works is wonderful. And I don't think we see that much anymore when we walk into galleries. I feel very privileged to be amongst you all. The works are beautiful. So thank you.
It's a pretty substantial undertaking. It was demanding because you're very mindful that there's a lot of money available, that the prize has a huge reputation, and therefore people are going to take the exhibition of 30 works and the winner very seriously.
We liked things that were not really in your face, that perhaps reflected a quieter engagement with the subject, where the subject themselves were allowed to communicate with us, with the viewer. The one that we've awarded it to probably proves that, in a way it's a modest painting, it's on a modest scale, so you can't guarantee that you're going to win a prize by doing something really large or incredibly innovative in its approach. You just have to do the painting that you really want to do, and that in the end is what's going to stand out. Yeah, authenticity and sincerity.
Well, last year's winner won with the first portrait he ever painted in his life. So, as I said previously, anyone can really win it. So one never knows.
The inspiration was actually my daughter, who did a play at school, and she did the research for Mary Wade, who was a convict. She was 11 years old when she was arrested, and they called it in those days highway robbery. Because also I was alongside her, helping with her research, I became really interested in women's stories and the women that came here, the children that came here, and what that must have been like it would have been so overwhelming. So that really was, the basis of my inspiration.
Photographs can become a little bit, repetitive. You do see the same style of photograph over and over again. This was new. It looked something like a religious painting. It had very muted tones to it. The little expressions of the girls' faces, the hands, it was quite extraordinary. Little girls all want to be mermaids, and there was Tina Turner, gulping air in front of them. It was an extraordinary image.
I like to be able to look at pictures that tell me something, or intrigue me, or impart some information that I didn't know, that kind of make me look more than once. So to me, that's key.
You might say, oh, it's a lucky shot. No, the photographer's in the right place at the right time, knows what they're doing.
That's part of a series called Crazy World, and it's all about little crazy moments and contradiction in life, and I sort of laugh. I guess I'm trying to make sense of the world and the craziness in it.